Here we are. Oh, welcome to the Psychic News Network. My camera's kind of high, huh? How you doing? Let me know how you're doing on Hump Day. The new moon solar eclipse is upon us, and the sign of Aries, and then it goes right into Taurus a few hours after the new moon hits. So the new moon hits at 12:13 a.m. Eastern Time. It should be an interesting week. And then a few hours after that, the sun goes into Taurus. So we're on a cusp right now. And I think we're good. I think I have the staging all okay, but I'm going to bring this down a little bit. So say hello to each other, one another. I actually have a new rig here, so it's working a little better lighting wise, I think. Okay. But now you can't see Betty and Benny the bunnies. Our mascots. Sorry, we're good now. Bring it down a little bit more. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Whew. I think when we last left our story, I pulled 3 community cards to tie us over from Monday to now. Boy, time goes fast. And at the end, I said we were going to get some good news. And I really have the sense that it's a time that we're kind of coming into a little bit of balance. Hi, Cindy Lou. Makes me think of Dr. Seuss. Cindy Lou. So we're coming into this time of like, things are going to start to feel like they're kind of balancing out. We're in a kind of a balancing act. But let me tell you something about what just happened with Dominion. What just happened with Dominion is a game changer. Like, we don't even know how many layers of change in the game that this represents. It's like we said to Fox, it's like Dominion said to Fox, and the rest of us collectively said to Fox, guess what? This is the United States of America. We are not Russia. That's how it feels. Guess what, Rupert? This is the United States of America. This is a democracy. We are not Russia. And my heart goes out to the Russian people that have to deal with, what we've had to deal with a little tasting of, which is fake news. We always send thoughts and prayers to countries that are under dictatorships. So we're not, and that was a huge statement. And I had said that I thought that it would go to hearing. It was hard to tell. We were all wishing for that, to trial. I mean, and then, after the fact, after they settled, I started to just think about how much news, how much airtime that would have taken, and it would have taken focus off a lot of things that we need to focus on. Right now in the United States, we have a lot of problems that aren't being addressed because of these yahoos in the GOP that are doing nothing. They're doing nothing but causing more damage to America. There's going to be a lot of catch-up work that we're going to have to do. But this is something to feel good about. If you were angry that it didn't go to trial, rethink that. Because we didn't really want to be so absorbed in the trial. It would have been front breaking news all day, every day, for who knows how long that would have gone on. And this isn't the end. This is the tip of the iceberg. When I think about Fox and I think about, these lawyers, they're gonna go after Newsmax And they're going after, is OAN still around? They're going after the outlets that are blatantly lying. So there's more. This is just the beginning. When I think about Fox, I think about kind of, you know that saying, death by 1,000 cuts? Just meaning, you know, chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, and eventually the whole thing just kind of peters out. Metaphorically speaking. So let me just grab some cards. Let's see. I think I want to use the Aquarian Tarot for right now. Feel free to put your questions up. Smartmatic, yeah, that's coming up. That's what I just said. Smartmatic, and there are others too. I see lots and lots of lawsuits. Hi, Barbara, you said hi. I'm so glad you said hello. Thank you for being here. We're going to pick 3 cards as we ask about Rupert Murdoch. We're going to just kind of just jump in and say, what kind of a day is Mr. Rupert having? Does he ever reflect on his life as he's coming to the end, as he's, you know, his fiance opted out? Can you say it was all about the money? And I guess she thought better of it. Who knows what happened there? Maybe she didn't want to be involved with all this lawsuit stuff. Maybe Rupert Murdoch's fiance was kind of doing a Melania. I don't think I'd want that, just considering that kind of lifestyle. Alright, let's see how he's feeling. Rupert Murdoch, we're going to just start out with that. The sands of the hourglass. I don't think I can put it where you can see it. So I can keep track of time. This is 1 hour, and then I'll go flip it and go halfway. I had a half an hour one too, but I don't see where I put it. Rupert. This is a time of big change for Fox. This solar eclipse. This new moon solar eclipse. This is about Fox. This is about Rupert Murdoch. The energy is set in such a way that this is going to change everything. This is the beginning of the end for Fox and fake news. Really, when you sit and you reflect, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3-4 years ago, we had to put up with this. We had to put up with them just having, just like a free-for-all, just, oh, let's lie, let's have alternative facts, let's lie, let's have all these people on, let's have all these politicians on and have them lie, and we'll all have a lying party. Right? Oh, thank you for letting us know. 6 lawsuits, Newsmax, OAN, Sidney Powell. Yeah, okay, so Dominion, they're getting ready for all those. Rudy, My Pillow Guy, Patrick Byrne. Who's Patrick Byrne? Yeah, thank you, Patty. You're so sweet. This is the beginning of the end. And this new moon solar eclipse is kind of like, this is the turning point. We're at the turning point, right, like the tipping point here. The 3 of Pentacles, this is just what I'm talking about. This is building anew. This is a new beginning time. Okay? Am I giving you some hope? That's my objective here. It's new beginning time. Turn the light up a little bit. I got a brand new light. I love it. See? See? Things are getting brighter. Oh, that's better. It's been a long time coming, yes. I feel sunshine on a cloudy day. I think I'm singing that wrong. Anyway. This is building that. These are 2 new beginnings cards. Please check out the Spirit Talk podcast right here on my channel that we did yesterday. Kathy Beal and I. A lot of great information in that discussion that we had. 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is Well, I feel like this is the 6 lawsuits. This is 6 lawsuits. Former CEO of Overstock, yes, and wasn't he involved in January 6th in the insurrection? I do believe I recognize that name from January 6th. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Oh, rants will be a necessity again, I'm sure of it. But we can have good rants. Yay! Yay! Isn't it awesome? I keep putting more light on. It's symbolic. Yeah, these are the other lawsuits. I'm actually seeing a lot of things moving at a fast clip with these lawsuits. I feel like there's going to be a desire on the part of the people that are being sued. There's going to be quicker cooperation than we might think. Let's take a look at, because I did see the 6 of Pentacles, which represents 6 of the lawsuits. Smartmatic needs to get to trial on their lawsuits. You guys might know more about the legal logistics than I do. Let's take a look at how those situations are going to go. To me, what it's showing up like is like it's going to be pretty neat, pretty cut and dried, pretty non-debatable. Let's see what the next cases are going to bring. The world is watching. This came up before. The world is watching. This is, let's think about, a long time ago when I went on a trip to Europe, it was the first time in my life that I think it might have been the first time of my life I was overseas. And I really got it that the rest of the world, for some reason, keeps their eye on America. And so when I see the world card around this Dominion case for the second time, because this came up before, this just feels like the world is watching. Now remember, when January 6th happened, what happened after that in Brazil? The world is watching. Tragically, what happened in Myanmar? We got to pray for the people in Myanmar. After January 6th, when they saw what Trump was doing, they did a copycat thing, which is really, really difficult to even think about and talk about. Just send lots of prayers. The world is watching what's happening to our democracy. North Texas, how are things going in Texas? So, and I do feel the world is praying for us too. Okay, the Magician is here, and the 5 of Pentacles. So it's there's a little bit of win some, lose some, but mostly winning on these next cases that are coming up. There's a saying, if America sneezes, the rest of the world gets a cold. Yeah. I think, when I went there, when I went to Europe, my first trip overseas, I was working for a music magazine. And it was at a time when it just kind of clicked with me. Wow, the Beatles came to America, and it was like, the music starts, people come to America to make it big in the music business. And we don't realize that if we live here, how much the rest of the world looks at what's going on here. So the world is watching this Dominion case and the other cases to follow. The 5 of Pentacles. Actually, now that I'm looking at this more, I feel like Mike Lindell is going to be, I feel like he has the least to worry about. It's quiet still? What do you mean it's quiet? And the Magician is coming up. So it's a little complicated because I'm reading on all the cases that are coming up. So I'm getting, okay, well, I think Mike Lindell will get off of the hook somehow. I've seen in the past Rudy Giuliani going to serve time, and Sidney Powell may leave the country. The other guy, the Overstock guy, I see the threat of prison time for him. The Magician is coming up. There's going to be a lot of, kind of two-step in and trying to get out of it, but I really think, for the most part, just in summary, it will shut down the lies. These lawsuits will shut down the lies. It's almost like we will be kind of going back to the FCC. Will they let Rudy bring his hair dye to jail? Yeah, probably. It's almost like we'll feel like that we're going back to the time when we had a Federal Communications Commission that worked. We need something in place, especially with AI coming and all the rest of it. So, interesting. Let's see. So, the new moon, do we have any Aries people out there? You should be feeling on top of your game. Finally, so we'll keep the 20 on Tuesdays, meditation for a healed America. We'll keep everything going. I'm not seeing Mike Lindell getting in as much trouble as you would think. Oh, Sandy, you're an Aries? I'm not saying that Mike Lindell will get... No, let me rephrase that. He's not going to, be guilt-free and just get let off easy. I just feel like of all the sentences that are coming, I don't feel like he's going to get a big my prison mattress. I don't feel like he's going to get 10, 20 years at Rikers, in other words. So speaking of Rikers, let's look at how Trump's doing. Now, Trump, I have the Chariot card. As soon as I mentioned Trump, the Chariot card jumped out. And that is what happened right before he got arrested in New York. This is about Trump. So, this Chariot is fast-moving energy soon coming for Trump. And I would not be surprised, because I kind of see it and feel it, if Trump was going to be on Fox. I gave you peace of mind? Good. And I'm reading it like I sees it, so, when it's good news, it's not that I'm just saying it just so you'll feel better, even though I want you to feel better about what's going on. We're in a very, very challenging time in this country, that's for sure. Two more about Trump. So I have the Chariot card, and Letitia James is moving forward. No, I mean Fani Willis. I have my mind on New York and Georgia at the same time. I do think that this is about Fani Willis, because the Chariot card came up. There's something coming down really quickly. Three of Pentacles, once again, we are rebuilding. I've always said that the reason, the big perspective reason that Trump ever, came on the scene and messed up our country was so that we would make our country stronger. So we really are. We're rebuilding from the ground up. It will, in terms of Fox and all the fake news networks, it won't be like we have a working Federal Communications Committee system, but at least we'll have a little color of that in our media. It will be as if we have an FCC. Trump is facing strong women. Trump he's in for it. Definitely watch the Spirit Talk podcast from yesterday. There's a lot in there. Kathy Beal, she's a great astrologer. I don't know if she's in the chat tonight. But there was a lot in there about what's coming down for Trump. And it's not, just put it this way, you wouldn't want to be him. You wouldn't want to be him. And how much has he tried to delay things, and he's tried to get out of going to court at all, and trying to get out of being indicted and having to be present, and how much of that has he done? And sometimes maybe we forget. Yeah, we are draining the swamp, right? It's all that projection that they've been doing all along. It's interesting. I mean, we kind of forget how it used to be. Oh, Barbara liked the podcast. Good. Yeah, so Kathy mentioned what's coming for Trump. Thank you for posting my website, psychicconnection.com. And grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Make sure you attend our meetings. Now, this is about Fani Willis, the, rebuilding America. The reason Trump came along was because we needed to strengthen our democracy. I've said that before. We have to know what's broken before we can fix it, right? And we're finding out what has been broken. The High Priestess, Fani Willis, is holding her cards close to her chest, right? It's a poker game. She has a few aces. I've always said about Fani Willis, it's just cut and dried. Can't, like the Dominion thing. Can't deny it. The evidence is all there, right in front of everyone's eyes. And remember, the one that was it the chairperson? Remember that strange woman who was chairperson of the grand jury in Atlanta and Georgia, and she started spilling the beans on, it was okay because they were finished doing what they were doing, and she started talking about what was going to be happening. She started dropping hints. Remember, yeah, Trump keeps striking out, that's for sure. Remember what she said. I got a little bit kind of thrown by how odd of a person she seemed to be, which is fine. You can be odd. It's not a judgment. But when you think about what she said, that, he's not going to get away with anything, she said, really, in her kind of code. 4 women, was it 4 women? Remember that? She kind of let the cat out of the bag in terms of, Trump's in trouble, and she knew it. There are like 12 people who could be indicted, right? Yeah, there was a lot. She said a lot in a kind of code way. So, what Fani Willis has is, it's in the bag. It's just in the bag. It just is. And you know what? If you are completely innocent, if it were you and you were completely innocent, you're like, I didn't do any of that, right? I didn't do any of those 1,000 crimes. You would defend yourself, right? You wouldn't run. Trump is so guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Yeah, he lost over 60 cases. Over 60 cases when it came to, the votes. Another guy said it was massive. Oh, yeah. Right. So these cards are saying absolutely Georgia, hands down, Trump loses, there's no way out. And let us not forget that next week, he's told on himself numerous times, he hasn't even been trying to hide it. He came out today with those stupid cards. What do you call them? NFT cards? He's got more. He's got more. Midas Touch today said, Fani, okay. Definitely over 60 cases about voter fraud. They found no voter fraud. Maybe 2 votes that were counted wrong, but really, for all intents and purposes, there was no voter fraud. It's like we're finally over the hump, the Trump. Right, Dale? So, next week is E. Jean Carroll. Next week is E. Jean Carroll. I believe it's on the 25th. I think that's right. We have 20 on Tuesdays on the 25th. So don't forget to come and meditate with us. Fani says there are defendants wanting to turn on each other. We shall see. Let's take a look at how it's going to go in Georgia. That looked like, I was kind of looking at what Fani Willis has in her possession right now. Let's see how it's going to go for Trump in particular. Hello, Marby. All right. How it's going to go for Trump in Georgia. How he's going to do. Well, the Hermit. Rats jumping ship. Yeah, they have been. The 6 of Swords. Oh. Let me interpret these cards for you. This is about how Trump is going to do next week. Is it next week in Georgia? I don't know, that's what I'm getting. The Six of Swords. This has to do with January 6th. The fake electors, the election fraud, the pressure. He's now hit the iceberg. The Trump Titanic has now hit the iceberg. I like it. Where's my bell? Good one. Hang on. You're supposed to paint the kitchen today, but you played golf? Good for you. So this is about how Trump will fare in Georgia. The Hermit, he's on his own. The Six of Swords, there's going to be connections to January 6th, obviously. The Five of Cups, he's going to lose, and the way that he looks at losing is money. He's going to lose more money. That's why he started selling his new baseball cards. I don't know, is it NFT, these cards? Look at what I see for the abortions pill facing the Supreme Court. They had another delay. Yeah. We're just getting started. Lots to read about. Okay. Not good. And what Trump is so worried about is the money. More than anything. The money. Yeah, he's got, what do they call those silly cards? Those silly cards. So he's selling more. I know, there's a Dan warning out. There's a Dan warning. Sounds like drinking might be involved. All right, let's look at how the Trump kids are doing. You're welcome, Kathy. NFT, what's NFT stand for? Non-fungible tokens. I could think of a few things. I have a creative brain. But there might be not decent things that I might say. This is about the Trump kids. The Trump grown children. How they doing? How the Trump kids doing? Three of Cups. 8. I can't see. I'm going to try to see. 5 of Swords. 4 of Cups. 3 of Cups. Somebody in the Trump family is going to jump ship. I feel like somebody in the Trump family that is gonna sing for her supper, and I'm getting a she. 5 of Swords. The Ivanka is going to jump ship. I'm not really sure what that means, but I feel like Ivanka is I know Ivanka and Melania hate each other, so but I just want to say that Ivanka and Melania are kind of feeling the same way right now. Ivanka's trying to figure out how to get away from her father and her siblings. And the 5 of Swords is because I'm seeing Ivanka looking for, where am I going to get money? Where am I going to get money? Because it's fading fast. Yeah, Ivanka has already floated away. This kind of seals the deal because I have the 3 of Cups here, which is like, it feels like for some reason Ivanka is going to get off scot-free. Sorry. It tells it like I sees it. Former prosecutor Mark Pomerantz will testify in front of the... Oh, he will? No, it's not going to affect the case. They're making fools of themselves. Yeah, so this is Ivanka. Somehow I get that she's going to get away. Scot-free. And the other, like Don Jr. and Eric, feels like they're not smart enough to figure out how to finagle their way out of things. 5 of Swords, they're out of money. The 4 of Cups, they could get themselves to be in a better position, to appear in a better light. Like, they should shut their mouths right now because they're probably going on Fox. And I feel like Trump is probably going on Fox right now too. Maybe someone can check. But they have an opportunity to kind of redeem themselves, but they're not taking it. they're making it worse. It's just, I think it's a family trait. But Ivanka, being a woman, is a little smarter. Hi, Maria. All right, Maria's here. She's our civics teacher. All is well. NPR said DeSantis' campaign is tanking. Well, you could ask the psychic about that. Junior needs to go into rehab. It's almost like, it's like this. What I'm picking up about Eric and Don Jr. is they could make themselves, like keep a low profile. They could make it a little better for themselves. It's not the first time I've read that about them. But they're screwing it up. Rhonda, are you reading cards? Rhonda Rue is saying that Don Jr. is heading for an overdose. What do you mean by that? Since you brought it up, I'll read. About him specifically. I just feel like they're not smart enough to figure out how to lessen their guilt. Lessen the appearance of guilt. That's pretty much in the spotlight. I'm reading about Don Jr. and whether he will overdose. I don't really hear like much about people dying from a cocaine overdose, right? It's bad for the heart, but I don't really hear that much. Oh, Don Jr. It's not good. The Five of Swords again. The sun will shine on his addiction issues. This is indicative of rehab. Junior has only 45 money in business. That makes sense. Yeah. He's and Don Jr. has like 5 kids. 5 of Swords. Well, there's going to be a light shown on his addiction. But Rose, you're saying, is he going to overdose? And what I'm saying is I don't really, I took care of it. I've never heard of somebody ODing on cocaine and dying. You know what I mean? It's not good. Just put it that way. The sun, it will be illuminated. What's going on with his drug addiction will be kind of in the spotlight. Hi, Darren. All right, it's bad for them right now. Whenever I think of the Trump adult children, I always have that image in my mind of, remember when Trump had to leave the White House and we were all sitting on the edge of our seats going, is he gonna leave? Because he said he wouldn't. And then he finally got on Air Force One and got helicoptered away from the White House, and we were all breathing a huge sigh of relief. We had just gone through January 6th. We didn't know if Washington, D.C. was going to get blown up during the inauguration. Anyway, so Trump is leaving finally in the helicopter, and his kids were standing there, and they were all crying. So that's the image that really stuck with me. Let's look at what's going to happen with Melania. What's going on with that? All right. Melania! Melania! I don't know why I'm singing her name. Trump went off on the Trump-o-bile. What does that mean? The Trump-mobile? The Trump-mobile? It was Air Force One because he had been in the White House, and fortunately he was being flown away from the White House. Melania. Heartbreak. She can't get away from the guy. She's trapped. This is about Melania. 5 of Pentacles. She's worried about losing all the money. I've been saying for years Donald Trump doesn't have any money. The Queen of Pentacles. I feel like Melania is going kind of rushing to her mother right now. I do see that she needs support, and she's going to her mother for support. and they're trying to, it looks like they're trying to figure out a way to get her extracted from this relationship. Do I think that Dominion will sue Trump directly? Probably. Let's pull out the pendulum, shall we? Will Dominion sue Trump directly? That's a yes. That looks like a yes to me. Hello, Benjamin. The energy of Dominion suing Trump is pretty strong. Why wouldn't they, when you think about it? So anyway, as far as Melania goes, I see Melania sitting down like with a maternal figure. I'm assuming it's her mother. And she's really a mess, and her heart is like, my heart's not in this. I don't want to be around this man. How do I get out of it? I feel like Melania knows she's not going to get, definitely she's not going to get the money that she banked on, literally, when she married the guy. Yeah, I'm not asking for you to have sympathy. If you don't want to have sympathy for her, you don't have to. It's not required. But yeah, this is hard. She's really, I feel like Melania is extremely depressed too. The Queen of Pentacles, this is, I feel a strong woman helping her to get out of the situation she's in. It might be a lawyer. What just fell? As long as it wasn't cards. It might be a lawyer. I mean, I'm definitely feeling like she's looking for counsel. Is a female that I'm seeing here a lawyer? Not a lawyer. No. She's seeking counsel from a female. Interesting. But she's in a very bad place. Probably Putin will pull her out of her mission. Well, are you explaining one of the cards here? You know, when I think about Melania and Putin, I don't get much there, but when I think of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Putin, lots there. Lots there. I'm not getting a Melania-Russia connection so much. He's saying she was a spy for Russia. Yeah, I'm not picking that up. But if you replace Melania with... Oh, really? If you replace Melania with Marjorie Taylor Greene, yeah. She's a spy. Right before I show, so you saw a YouTube show showing Melania standing with Donald and Barron says, Mom, you okay? That makes sense. I feel like she's in a tough, emotional place. Melania is right now. She's, I see, you know, when I tune into her, when I tune into Melania, what I feel like is like, did you ever go through a really hard time? Well, it's a part of the human condition, where you were just wrecked and you were just crying and crying and crying. And, you know, after you cry and cry and cry, you feel really weak and really drained. I think they go back to Slovenia. I picked that up a while back. They just release income something and she has like 5 million. Oh wow. She's in a bad place. I feel like you guys are being vicious about Melania. I'm just reading the cards. I'm not, you know, saying, oh, she deserves it, or it's not. Just reading the cards. I feel like that she's really drained. And even though you might think she has a lot of money, it's not a lot of money. I feel like even if it's in the millions, it's all spent. Yeah, it's all spent. I mean, when you think about how much money she's going to need for legal stuff and to divorce him, and she really wants out and she really feels trapped. It really feels like she's in prison. You know, the feeling of being in prison. 5 million, nothing for her bills. What do you mean? That was just released. 5 million, nothing for her bills. You mean that's all she has? Yeah, for us it's good. She's so young she could have a good life ahead of her. She has a boyfriend. But I don't think that's going very well either. Well, you know, and I've heard this too. I've heard that she's in a contract that she won't leave Trump until Barron is 18. I feel like there's a way around that. But $5 million, it's not going to be enough. That can be gone like instantaneously. Okay, moving on. We have to really pray a lot for what's going on in this country right now with gun violence. We've reached a different sort of scenario with the gun violence. Switching topics. I'll give you a moment to switch topics. We've reached a different kind of a scenario with the gun violence, that a couple of young people showed up at the wrong house, got into the wrong car. Somebody had a gun handy. They felt threatened, so they felt they had to shoot the person instead of stopping and taking into consideration, oh, maybe they're lost, or maybe they thought this was their car. I'm not really sure what we're going to do as a nation, but it's definitely gotten to a point where we have to do something, and it's been that way with in a few different areas, on a few different topics. So I'm going to read 3 cards. Yeah, I mean, it's beyond imagining. It's really heavy on my mind. That it's bad enough. It's so unspeakably bad enough that we're having a massacre a week right now, and that 1 in 5 Americans have been touched by gun violence. They either in their own family and friend circle, or knowing somebody in their city, or so it's unspeakably bad. It's like it's mind-bogglingly bad. And to actually have a new scenario where we're seeing this 3 times in a row now. Somebody made a mistake. We've all pulled into the wrong driveway. There's so many cars that look alike. I drive a car that looks like everyone else's car. I've actually gone to a wrong car because it looks exactly like my car, because it is the exact same car. So we're a nation that's traumatized, but I'm going to pick 3 cards to see what's going to happen. You had a thought today the older man will commit suicide? Who hasn't gone to the wrong car? Unless you have like a purple truck that's vintage or something. I mean, honestly. Let me pick 3 cards about are we going to see anything change? We ask this question after every gun situation. Oh, and I have 4 cards. Okay. The star card is coming up. The judgment card is coming up. The guides are saying the GOP, the so-called Republicans that have been saying no to having any semblance of a gun law, they are going to be called out. The Knight of Pentacles. I feel the Jack Smith influence. You went to the wrong car and the door opened using your key? Really? Yeah, I have a silver Toyota Corolla. I swear, everybody, it seems like it, everybody has one. Yeah. And how many times have you, especially if you go into like one of those like apartment complexes and every place looks the same, or certain developments, every place looks the same. Yeah. Anyway, the Republicans that are the troublemakers in terms of the obstructionists that are obstructing any laws about guns, and that will do, they've said it right out loud, we're not going to do anything. and then they turn around and they say, everybody needs more guns. Those people, a big chunk of them are in big trouble. The Knight of Pentacles, this is the law coming after them for their traitorism. See? Somebody else has a silver Toyota Corolla. It's a lease. I'm not really, I'm not a big car person. Maria went to the wrong car twice this year alone. You keeping count? Judgment and the Star. Yeah, I'm actually, the second time it's come up tonight, the world is watching. The world is watching. We need universal gun reform laws and no assault weapons. But the Star in Judgment means that something is going to shift. I swear to you, I know, we've heard it so many times, but it's gotten to a really, really, really terrifying point. And the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, this is the law coming down on, like, the Ted Cruzes and the Lindsey Grahams and the Josh Hawley and the Jim Jordans, and you know the list, right? The ones that were part of January 6th. They will be losing power. They will be losing power. And I think the thing about seeing somebody like Fox having to pay out as much as they paid out, and it being outed around the world that they got held accountable for all the lies and the slander, I think that's making, say, the Jim Jordans, even though it's kind of a different area, it's all kind of connected, it's making them see that they can be held accountable too. That's what's going on there. Oh, it's time for my commercial. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. If you want a psychic reading to deal with these eclipses, we're in eclipse season. It's a really good time for that. Plus, this is a time with this new moon solar eclipse to cast your lines. That's what they say in boat terms. Cast your lines and sail your ship and go for it. That's what this new moon energy is about. So if you want a reading, PsychicAnnetteDion.com. Thank you for posting that up there. Also, the spiritual approach to weight loss class is meeting for 2 more Saturdays. If you want to jump in on that, we can give you the recordings of the former classes. I'm also going to re-offer that class again next month. The pendulum class is May 6th. That's all on PsychicAnnetteDion.com, and grassrootsofdemocracy.com is where you sign up to join our democracy meetings. And we're having a good time, and we're getting a lot of work done, and it will make you feel good to be involved with Grassroots of Democracy. I promise. There's some people in the chat that are part of the group. A good time to get a reading, because this new moon in Aries, well, the new moon's in Taurus, but this solar eclipse in Aries is a time to get real about what you're all about. Because Aries is I am. And I am is like that. I can point you to what you have come here to do. It's good to know. It's handy information, right? And if you've had a reading before, it's no problem to have a reading again. You might as well check back in with me. Go to my website. Church of Spirituality is every single Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, live stream. And a reading is 50 minutes, 50 minutes, almost an hour. It's a lot of information, a lot of material. Shall we read on Clarence Thomas? Thank you, Benjamin. Yes, I am very, very experienced at this work. And I wouldn't do it if I wasn't good at it. Because that would be embarrassing. Alright. Clarence Thomas and the Supreme Court. There's never a dull moment, I am telling you. Never a dull moment. If you want to lose weight for the summer season, take the spiritual approach to weight loss. King Clarence and Ginny, we read on them the other night. Are your recordings, are your readings recorded for us to keep? If you set it up, we can send you a Zoom invite if you want to do it that way. I don't record it because I don't need your reading. I mean, but we could set up a Zoom. Excuse me. My throat chakra is being activated. Let's see. Clarence Thomas. What this looks like is Clarence Thomas is trying to figure out how he can. It feels like the talk of impeachment is coming, and I feel like Clarence Thomas is going to be convinced that it would be best for him to step down. Thank you very much. The Four of Pentacles, this is a card of holding on, holding on, holding on. No, Thomas is an out and out criminal. The debt ceiling will be raised. Well, we should read on that tonight, actually. Ginny Thomas was a queen in her past life, yes. That's why I call them King Clarence and Queen Ginny. Clarence is going to exit stage left. He is. I feel like he's going to be approached, and I feel another gentleman, not that Clarence is a gentleman, but anyway, I see somebody in a position of authority, it might be one of the justices, who approaches him and says, well, you know, Clarence, it reminds me of Nixon. Who was it when Nixon was getting ready to be impeached? And who knows their history? And he walked in and said to Nixon, I think it's best if you resign. You might want to resign. You might want to think about resigning. And then he did. Trivia. Trivia. Sheldon Whitehouse. You can look up on YouTube Sheldon Whitehouse and the Supreme Court. Just type it in and you'll see. Barry Goldwater. You win! I don't know what you win. But anyway, good job. Barry Goldwater walked in and said to Richard Nixon, I think it'd be best for you to resign. Not in those exact words, but some semblance of that. So I'm feeling like that's the scenario with Clarence Thomas. That somebody's saying to him, I think it'd be best if you resign or be charged, probably. Hang on. Is it going to be really like the same thing? Either resign or, okay, either, is it going to be presented to Clarence Thomas, resign or be impeached? Not quite that. Will Clarence Thomas choose to resign? It looks like he's going to choose to resign. Is it going to be because of what Sheldon Whitehouse has spearheaded in terms of investigations? Yeah. Yeah, and plus all the investigators, all the journalists, and that Crow man will threaten to cut him off. Will Harlan Crow cut him off now that he's in trouble? Oh yeah, he will. He will. Hello, Scotland! White House belongs in the White House. I know, some of these people have the most appropriate names. Like Trump, for instance. I feel Clarence is going to step down because he wants to go to his life in a corner with the money that he has. I did it my way. Yeah, it's going to be kind of that. It's going to be kind of like I did it my way. But I don't see him. I don't see Clarence Thomas in prison. We'll put it that way. We'd like to, but we got to do something about these justices being above the law. But I kind of see somebody going to him and saying, be best if you resign, sir. With tears in his eyes. No, just kidding. Harlan Crow will be the guy that says it. Oh, maybe. Well, Harlan Crow, that's not the question that I asked before. I was asking if Harlan Crow would remove his financial support. He might say it's okay. Is Clarence going to do this just saying that it's for health reasons? That's going to be part of it. I keep seeing him having heart problems. I've said that several times. Is Harlan Crow the one that's going to go to him and say it'd be best if you resign? No. It's somebody who's in government in some way. But he's going. He's going. Maybe Jenny being charged? No, I don't think it's that. I think it's what's been uncovered about how criminal he is. He's a thief. He's a thief. Is it Roberts? I'm wondering, is it Roberts? Is that... Doesn't look like it's Roberts. Maybe it'll come. Yeah, Donna, my niece isn't in Scotland yet. I'm not sure when she's going. She's going with another family member. That's all I know. But thank you for... I did forward the email to her, so you might hear from Bree. Let's take a look at Texas and what's happening with that abortion pill ban. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I think about that... Are you saying Ketanji Brown Jackson? The person, going back to the Clarence issue, the person that I see talking to Clarence Thomas about the need for him to resign is a male, and he feels like an equal. And I'm not picking up that it's Roberts. Maybe, since we keep going back to this, is it Alito? Is Alito going to suggest that Clarence Thomas, it looks like Alito. What is, I'm getting Alito, but he might not be the only one. Yeah, I'm getting Alito. Bad also? What do you mean bad? Well, we're not doing an analysis of whether they're good or bad. We're just... This is not a friend. Alright. Let me explain, people! This is what I'm getting. Somebody who feels like kind of an equal to Clarence Thomas. I'm getting that he will have a discussion with him, telling him, like Goldwater did with Nixon, I think it'd be best if you resign. That's what I get. No, Clarence Thomas wouldn't listen to the female justices. Does that make sense? Sometimes I feel like I'm not making sense. I do my best to make sense, but you know, when you make sense to you, but then you realize maybe I'm not making sense to somebody else. I'm getting that it's Alito. Okay, the abortion pill ban, is that actually going to be a ban? It's gone to the Supreme Court. There's no consolation there, right? Whenever I think about that, the abortion bans, I cannot. Thank you, Maria. She says I'm making sense. Okay, good. Whenever I think of the abortion ban, I know that I'm not the only one. I can't even believe this is happening in this country. That women they don't have a place to go for their female health care, that OBGYN centers are closing down, that, 6 weeks is like, women don't know they're pregnant, most women at that point, it's just pretty early, and maybe it happened by accident, we know the biology of that. I cannot believe that this is happening in this country, because it really is like, we don't care, it's like, we don't care. These evil white men, you say, well, women will die, and they're like, we don't care. We don't care. They might as well just say it. We want them to die. It's unbelievable. Rose is saying she doesn't see how Ketanji Brown Jackson hasn't put Clarence Thomas in his place yet. But how do you know? I mean, like, right? That's not factual. You don't know. You don't know that Ketanji Brown Jackson hasn't said anything to Clarence Thomas. How would you know if she did or didn't? Are you leaving, Sandra? Don't leave! Sorry. It's just, I cannot believe it. So let's see what's going to happen. The other night I got that there wasn't going to be a ban on the abortion pill. Yeah, Rose, I was just saying, you don't know that Ketanji hasn't put in her 2 cents, right? All right. This whole abortion situation. I keep on getting the 5 of Pentacles tonight. That's interesting. That's the pain that women will be going through. The 4 of Pentacles, there's a withholding here. Okay, this is an issue that I feel a lot of lawyers fighting back big time, fighting hard. Maybe this Dominion thing has really inspired and motivated people that are prosecutors and that work in the legal system. Anyway, I see that there are obviously unconstitutional things that are being done here. I see, you know, this judge in Texas attempting to pull a fast one. I don't see that it's going to work. I have the Judgment card here. I see this judge being called out for something way illegal. Way illegal. You have to wonder about somebody that's that much of a misogynist, whether they haven't done some nefarious, horrible things before. And I get that he has. What's his name? I mean, I'm not saying the abortion ban issue itself is going to go away right now, because we're right in it. We're right in this abortion ban stuff. Everybody, we have to activate. Hi, Janice. We have to activate. This is a horrible, horrible thing. So let's. So that was about the judge. I feel like the judge in Texas is going to be held accountable for something nefarious. Yeah. Yeah. They're not only being threatened, Maria, the women's rights, they're being taken away. They're being taken away. Kazmarak or some stupid name. The Supreme... Oh, well, that's a good question. Do I see the Supreme Court ruling that it goes back to the states to decide, which is not a good thing? Is that what the Supreme Court's going to decide about the abortion pill? So are they going to send it back to the states? Yes, it's the judge in Texas. That doesn't look like it's what's going to happen. Okay. Is there going to be a federal abortion ban? Is the United States of America going to see a full-on federal abortion ban? It's not decided yet. There's too many things in play. I would say no. I would say, and the pendulum is going crazy now, and I'll just let it go. Yeah, okay, so for our next question, we have to ask about Ron DeFascist. I don't know, I just laugh when I think about him. I don't know why. Because he's so pathetic. The pathos is just over the top. Ronnie DeFascist, how are you doing? Hello, Joanne. Nice to see you. Thank you all for being here tonight. Wednesday tends to be a lighter night. Which is fine. I'm glad you're all here. They don't hide it anymore at all. I hate to say it, but I look at Ron DeSantis and he has a head like Kermit the Frog. And the reason I say I hate to say that is because I love Kermit the Frog, but doesn't DeFascist have a head like the shape of Kermit the Frog? He's just, It's remarkable how much he doesn't just he won't budge. What is he? He's so evil. And he was a dictator in a past life. Some of these people have brought in, a lot of them actually, have brought in their soul blueprint, have brought in, oh, thank you, Dancing Warrior. She looks forward to the show. You know, let me just ask a question. Hang on. It's a lot of the people that are in positions of leadership, like Trump was Mussolini, right? It's like it's in their soul blueprint and they're not able to shake it. So Ron DeSantis can't shake his lifetime as a dictator. And it's almost like when we come back, when we incarnate again, we're supposed to at least try to do better. He had a campaign ad on local TV tonight. Are you in Florida? Would love to know how to read a soul blueprint. Get a reading, you'll get kind of a sample of what it's like. But he can't not be a dictator. He can't shake it. So it's almost like his soul is trying to go, is going like, it's kind of funny to watch from a psychic perspective. It's kind of like, but I'm a dictator. This is what I do. This is what he has no concept of. He's in a democracy. That was another lifetime, Ron. He wasn't Hitler. He was a dictator, but I think it was pre-Hitler. So let's take a look at his fate. I have never seen him running for president. I think it's kind of bizarre that for months now, for so many months now, they've been pitting him against Trump, and he hasn't even, DeSantis hasn't even thrown his hat in the ring, so it doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, let's take a look. The world, this is Disney World. The Empress, oh, it's not good. Oh my goodness. He has 3 major arcana. This is about Ron DeSantis. Wow. It's like him against the world. The Empress is democracy over the devil that he is. Yeah. I can't, don't you just want to go to Disney's Pride Parade? Don't mess with the mouse. I mean, he can't, it's like OCD. He has like OCD. They're doing a reality show. The world, the Disney World, the United States over the devil. Oh yeah, Pluto is going to beat him up. Well, I think I just explained it to Kathy that Ron DeSantis, that guy, that soul, in his past lifetime, will not accept conservatives. In his past lifetime, he was a dictator, and he can't shake it. He can't shake that compulsion. He can't do it. And he just keeps going and going and going. It's like OCD. You keep seeing him in the little white boots. I know, it's funny how those images stick with you, isn't it? He's going down. Let's pull 3 cards about Trump's campaign, so-called campaign. Yeah, Mickey's gonna take him down. But not just Mickey, the United States, too. So I'm gonna take a little look at dictators gotta dictate. I guess so. I guess that's a tough one to shake, a tough lifetime to shake. I'm telling you, these people should have done better when they incarnated. They had the opportunity. They opted out. So I'm just going to read 3 cards on like Trump and DeSantis, just to read the energy about the 2 of them going at it. Remember Joe Biden? We have a president. Remember Joe Biden? Remember he's kind of like older and he's got white hair and he's kind of tall and he lives in this house and this White House and... Remember Joe Biden? Can I remind you that Joe Biden is president? And the news is all over, like, what Ron's doing to Trump, and, okay. They both want to be emperor. Remember Uncle Joe? He's over there, you know, Uncle Joe, he's like, yesterday he's given a speech about, God bless him, child care, providing, having child care, I guess in probably the Inflation Reduction Act. And one of the bills that passed, there was money allotted for child care for young mothers who have kids and they're single and they need to go to work or go to school or... Yeah, he's doing great stuff. He's like speaking in front of the unions. He's like, it's not Build Back Better, that didn't pass. But all the money now that's available to save our country. He's building up the middle class. Biden in a past life, he was royalty. He was in a royal family. He had kind of a rough life. But, we all have had rough lives. He signed a new bill yesterday for child care and in-home health care. That's a big freaking deal. That's a BFD. And we're over here, we're all talking about, well, it was all about Dominion yesterday, which was fine. That was good news. But I mean, seriously. No, I don't think he'll flee to Saudi Arabia. I don't think that. But anyway, they're both really... This is the card of the thief. So I'm reading about the energy between the fascist and Trump. So the Seven of Swords is that they're both thieves. They're both really like grand theft. They're both engaged in massive amounts of stealing money. Both the fascists and Trump. They're fighting over the emperor's seat. But there's too much baggage in both of their pasts. Both of them. Yeah, we need to talk about Biden more. And I, you know what? I'm gonna right now. I promise you, every single time. You gave me a lot of good information. Yeah, thanks, Sandra. Do I see Jack Smith taking Trump's plane away? Hadn't thought of that. I don't think it's going to take Jack Smith to take the plane away. Well, he's not going. I mean, people are saying, do I see Trump going to Saudi Arabia? I thought what you were referring to was fleeing, like being a flight risk and fleeing. But no, I don't see that. If he's going for a golf tournament, I don't know. I think he's going to have too many health problems. But anyway, that's different. There's too much baggage from the past for both Ron DeSantis and Trump. They're both fighting over being emperor. But what we're going to see is both emperors have no clothes. This is the card of the thief. You wear a Biden bracelet with Biden? Where'd you get a Biden bracelet? Secret Service has to go with him. I see a little bit of a hang up with that. When is it? No, he's not fleeing. I do not see that. I mean, yeah, actually, he might not have a passport. I see an interference with that golf tournament thing. When is it? Sorry, I have to scroll up. Did you say when it is? In November. Oh no, I don't see him going. No. Oh, okay. Sandra, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Oh, wait. You want my address to send me a Biden bracelet? I can give it to you right now. It's P.O. Box. I'll just say it in case you can write it down. Or you can send me an email, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. But it is... Why are you asking why? Am I missing what you're saying? P.O. Box 5295. Gloucester, Massachusetts 01930. Yeah, send me an email. But anyway, if anyone wants to send me money, you could do it that way. He won't leave the country. Trump won't leave the country. What I always get is nobody wants him. It's a good reason. He can overdose and not die. Oh yeah, you got it, yeah. 01930. Okay. There was something else really important. What was it? Yeah, send me too, that'd be great. What really important thing do I need to read on that I haven't read on? Well, I just got through promising that I would read on Biden every single time from now on. Support democracy, right? We're going to pull 3 cards for... Oh, by the way, if you ever want to write to me in an email, write to me at netdion7@gmail.com if you want to, I don't know, ask about a question you want me to ask or whatever. The debt ceiling, thank you. But right now we're going to read on Joe Biden. He seems happy when he's out there, promoting all these things. Joe Biden is great with the middle class. He's building up the middle class. That's what we have to do. It breaks his heart what's going on in this country, obviously. Joe Biden gets a lot of death threats. Keeping things in balance. And I feel Kamala being more in the forefront. We've seen that lately. Joe Biden's just steering the ship. I've said it before. He's just, it's like I can imagine it like this. It's like Joe Biden is the captain of a cruise ship, and all the people on the cruise they're a motley crew, and they're causing all kinds of problems, and he's just keeping the ship steady. Steady course, 1,000 points of light. Stay the course. Little George H.W. joke there. Anyway, this is yeah, he lies awake at night. He's really, really worried about this country. Yeah, he's okay, but he's very worried about this country. And this is indicative of how, what's going on in America right now is heartbreaking. Oh yeah, green tea leaves, definitely send them. I haven't drank my tea out of my too blessed to be stressed cup. Ice cold tea. Jill Biden keeps him going. He's definitely of the light. It's 01930. He's definitely the right person for the job. It gives me faith that the people that are kind of steering the ship, the crew, are really good quality people. Melania and son have dual citizenship. I always have seen her going back to Slovenia. But it's hard. There are a lot of death threats. But Joe Biden's good. He's good. I see his approval rating going up. I think that it's time for us to all write to the mainstream news, which I consider CNN, which I don't watch anymore at all, and MSNBC. And say, we want to hear more news about Joe Biden. Really, just send it. Please, we want more news about Joe Biden. Melania's parents could move back to Slovenia too, right? Yeah, it's a really tough time. Pray for our great country and our president. Come to 20 on Tuesdays. We do a meditation. We do a prayer every Sunday at Church of Spirituality. That's working. If you were Joe, you'd be enjoying your grandchildren. But if you have a calling, Dancing Warrior, if you have a calling to be a president, you can't just not do your calling. It's not a very pleasant existence if you have a calling and you're not doing your calling. The debt ceiling. Oh, let's take a look. Did they have a clown hearing today? Do you guys know? Did New York run them out of town yet? I mean, it's just a matter of time. Surprised they didn't do it yesterday. Let's read on Kevin McCarthy, who's making an absolute utter fool of himself, and I don't see him lasting beyond June as Speaker of the House, which we call him Marshmallow McCarthy, and he's hostage of the House. The most benevolent outcome for our democracy. Yes, democracy wins. Yeah, Kevin McCarthy. We're just going to read on him. That when I think of him, I see his brain completely scrambled like scrambled eggs. True. Kevin McCarthy's brain is like scrambled eggs. Oh wait, that's a Joker card. Well, that would fit. It's like the Aquarian deck. This is a mistake card. It shouldn't be in the deck. And I'm reading on Kevin McCarthy. It kind of fits, right? He's such a mess. I agree. Wholeheartedly. He's such a mess. Well, appropriately, there it is. This is Kevin McCarthy. Fool. Smoke and mirrors, the 7 of cups. He's just trying to put on a show. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Kevin McCarthy looks like he's in a coffin. What do you mean by that? Hi, Miss Orchid's Garden. You made it. This is the message. It's interesting how I'm reading this. Is Kevin McCarthy. He's a fool. It's all smoke and mirrors. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Oh yeah, Joe Biden, he was a happy camper, during that trip to Ireland. The Ace of Rods is what Kevin McCarthy is actually doing, is he's making the Democrats' message stronger. He's lost in space. So, just like Trump is forcing us to fix our democracy, and it needs to be fixed, clearly, look at the Supreme Court, for example. Total clown hearing. Kevin McCarthy being an a-hole, I can say that on YouTube, right? Sorry. Don't mean to offend anyone. It just popped out. Is making the Democrats look, by the contrast, big giant contrast, it couldn't be any more polar opposite, is making the Democrats look very, 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 very appealing. Yeah, he's not really, when I look at him, he's just, I've said it before, Kevin McCarthy is like a shell of a human. And according to Kathy, Professional Aquarian, check out that Spirit Talk podcast. There's a couple of little glitches in it in terms of, we're still kind of getting our bearings, but it's really good, and it's not looking good for Kevin McCarthy astrologically. But he is a vacant person. You got your pizza. Oh, that sounds good. So the debt ceiling. I do see them raising the debt ceiling. I do. Oh, don't mention DeJoy. I'm so mad that DeJoy is still there. I think I read on that Monday. He's an empty shell. Kevin McCarthy's an empty shell. I'm keeping the venting, kind of a low profile on the venting tonight. Okay, the debt ceiling. Yeah, they're gonna push it to the brink. They're gonna push it to the brink, and I have the 3 of Pentacles, and then we're gonna rebuild. Yeah, they're gonna push it to the brink, and then they're gonna rebuild. A federal judge upheld Jordan's subpoena of a former New York City prosecutor about the Alvin Bragg has already appealed. Oh, thank you. Oh, I was just talking about you, Kathy. You must have just gotten here. I was talking about how you were seeing Kevin McCarthy's downfall, which I was in complete alignment with. We had a lot that was just exactly the same in terms of our readings and the astrology report. Okay, so the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, they're going to push it. This is about the debt ceiling. They're going to push it and push it and push it to the brink. And you know what's happening? Just like I said, they're acting like a bunch of idiots, and it's making the Democrats look very attractive. So, and that way, according to the law of contrast, it's going to work in our favor, and we're going to have to go through a lot to get there. Three of Pentacles is rebuilding. I hear the words never again. It's really getting to a place where America has had it. What did I say the other night? Up to here, we have had it. And the worse it gets, the more angry we get, the more involved we're going to get. And we're already pretty involved. I mean, Grassroots of Democracy is pretty involved. And more people will be pushing for democracy. They're going to make it so unbearable that we can, Blue Wave 2024, yeah. They're going to make it so bad and so unbearable that everyone's going to get out there. I mean, look, that's what's happening. That's what happened in the midterms, right? Historic numbers of people voted in the midterms and they didn't have their red wave. Right? And this abortion ban situation is making women and men come out in droves. They're going to have a heart-stopping last-minute drama over the debt ceiling. That's what I just read. That's what, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely time. Oh, by the way, Saturday's Earth Day. Save the Earth. We need to save the Earth. We're doing a really bad job of that. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that. Oh my, look at the time. Let's, in the last 4 minutes, make sure we get to the most important question. Plant a tree. Love trees. I just love trees. Trees are our lungs, right? Should we just jump to, well, they had a red trickle, right. I know, it's working. They're pissing us off enough that we're all getting off our butts and getting involved, right? You're thinking of taking a vacation? Well, they're already putting us through hell around the debt ceiling. All they have to do is say, okay, we'll lift it. Think about it. Think about it. All they have to do is say, okay, let's go ahead and raise the debt ceiling. That's all they have to do. Maria can't wait to plant her vegetables and herbs. Nice. That's all they have to do. Just to avoid all this drama and you know, thinking about, you know what I want to read on? Maybe I'll take a few extra minutes. Now that Fox is crippled, their reputation is crippled, are these Republicans still going to go on to Fox and spew their ridiculousness? Is it going to work? They probably will. Kathy Beal, you can make sure you put your information up in the chat so people can get you for an astrology reading. Smartmatic. Okay. All right. Hang on. I'm gonna 3 cards about what's going to happen on Fox with these fascist Republicans. Yeah, definitely you can generate business here. I'm fine with that. Get a reading from Professional Aquarian. Okay, so they will continue to go on to Fox News, the fascist Republicans, and make fools of themselves. But I think that the swift action legally against them, I'm seeing James Comer here. You know, the class. Yeah, Fox is way wounded. The class dummy. When I see James Comer, I think of the class dummy, and I don't mean anything mean by that. He just seems like the kid in the dull kid in the class. And this is about Fox News. Are those Republicans, so-called Republicans, still going to go on Fox and spew their BS? And I get, yes, they most certainly will, because they're fools. There's that fool card again. And then this is the King of Swords, and justice is coming for them, so it's not going to do them any good. The Eight of Rods is fast-moving. We're going to see some subpoenas coming. Definitely. The after-school program in the Maryland County took the children to a program for Arbor Day to show children how to plant a tree. I never can remember when Arbor Day is. Natural Resources Department helped with that program. I feel like you just made my day. That's awesome. That's wonderful. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, so cool. Before I quit for the night, I want to ask about Marjorie Taylor Greene, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is an out-and-out treasonous traitor who's working for the Kremlin. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Kathy says Arbor Day is April 28th. Is it on here? It's not on my calendar. I'm surprised. You love the tree so much you bought a home in a forest. Oh, are you like a leprechaun? That's so sweet. I love that. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's working for Putin. The woman is a spy. And she's an enemy to the United States. I don't know who Trisha Cotham is. Who is she? Donna? Sorry, I try to keep up. Oh, I have the Joker card again. I guess it made it back in. Which is really kind of telling. It's like... Alright, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's got it coming to her. She's got it coming to her. Whose woods these are, I think I know. Actually, you know, I love that poem by Robert Frost, but there's also one, I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree, right? Yeah, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She does not have very good things coming for her. She's holding secrets, and she knows it. The Three of Pentacles has come up about 5 times tonight. This is about rebuilding our democracy. Yes. What do I think of Empty G's new boyfriend? You want to be more specific? What do you want to know? Well, let's ask if that relationship will continue. She's hell to live with. That's what the guides just said. They just gave me the impression. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene's new relationship going to last? No. Saturn's coming for you. We heard it. Oh, you heard it here. Our resident astrologer said Saturn's coming for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, so that relationship's not going to work out. I love that you're all putting up the nice programs that are where you live for children. And hold on, Leo, born on cusp Cancer, Leo, a homebody Leo. Homebody Leo, huh? Well, it is a fixed sign. I think it's time for our 3 cards to tie us over for the next couple of days. Since it's been over 90 minutes. It never seems like it. Okay. Collective card reading. Before I do this, I just want you love the Spirit Talk podcast. Please book a reading. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. This is how I make my living. So it's a win-win, because I will really help you. Whatever's going on, I will really help you. I'm also a spiritual life coach if you want to get in on that. And the spiritual approach to weight loss, check my website for that. I am going to run that class again. next month. I think it's the third weekend, starting the third Saturday in May. Alright, here we go. Please hit the thumbs up before you go. That would really, really make me very happy and feel appreciated. We all need to feel appreciated. I appreciate you. Thank you, Kathy. Joyce Kilmer's poem called Trees. I read that at one of my Church of Spirituality services. I might have been last April. Okay. Cards for the collective. Oh, we're going to see some people that have it coming to them over the next few days. Yeah. What we're going to see, unfortunately, is we're going to see a lot of Trump being, like, lots of threats coming from Trump. But that's not news, right? But he's going to get more and more vicious with his attacks. I'm seeing Trump issuing out and out threats. Cards for the collective, alms for the poor. Sorry, your mind tonight can't stop it. Sorry. We're all going crazy. Right? Am I right? You're welcome. Nine of Brothers. So over the next couple of days, we will see indictments. And the Page of Cups. Yes, we're going to see, the guys are saying happy lawyers. So I don't know if that's about the Dominion lawyers, but we're going to see happy lawyers. I think that the Dominion case has been an inspiration to other lawyers. We're all going crazy. Just like the Prince song. But Trump is going to start issuing horrible, horrible, horrible threatening threats. And we just have to erase him with our visualization of white light. Just erase him. In your mind, just, to the highest good of all. We forgive you and release you. Many people should watch out. What does that mean? Watch out. Oh yeah, many people should watch out because justice is coming. Because justice matters. Who jumped from Democrat to Republican? Yeah, I'll have to look up that name, Donna, for next time. Okay. I love you guys. I wouldn't be me without you. And thank you for entertaining me. And definitely consider getting a reading because it's a really good experience. You'll get all the guidance and clarity that you need. And I'll be back on Friday for Friday Night Live. But in the meantime, Grassroots of Democracy meets on Thursday night. So please join us. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com and just put your email address in. Even if you can't attend the meetings, you will get the notes. So you can do tasks to save democracy. And we have a fun time. All right? Love you all. Namaste. See you soon. Be good to yourselves.